Morning.
Good morning.
Could you please tell us your name, designation, and how long have you been with KEM Hospital?
Okay, I am Dr. Prashant Khandelwal. I am an honorary neurosurgeon to KM Hospital. I have done my fellowships in minimal invasive surgery from Germany and Japan. I trained myself for endoscopic neurosurgery, skull-based surgery, vascular surgery, pediatric neurosurgery from these places. I have been associated with KM since 2013 as an associate consultant.
Great. Really, more importantly, why did you choose to get into the healthcare industry and why KEM Hospital?
Okay, so this is very interesting. So healthcare, it gives me a chance to help patients, which in a way motivates me to work more and gives me a good job satisfaction. Secondly, if you consider a medical profession, it is considered as a noble profession, which deserves a lot of respect in community, peers, and friends. Medicine is very fascinating, but one of the reasons, and you have flexible timings for working basically. KEM specifically because you see it's got a very big legacy. There's a teaching environment in KEM, and you get a platform to help needy and poor patients to give them the utmost care.
Absolutely, that's really important
Yeah,
as well.
very important.
So, doctor, what do you most enjoy about being a doctor?
So as I already told you that helping patients in an incredible way is one of the most important reasons we enjoy that. Secondly, if you see, medicine is very fascinating. There's no dull moment in medicine. Every patient is different. It keeps on teaching you. It's like you have to apply a lot of clinical application is there with problem solving involved in it. So it never becomes a dull moment while you're working in a field like medicine. Other thing is that you have options of other branches, like you can become an administrator, you can go into clinical research, you can also work in public health. Then when you have these relations with patients for long term, you can nurture these relationships because they become your friends, they become your family members. So in a way that helps you also. And lastly and not least, it gives a job stability. There's no recession, especially during this period. There is no recession in medical field, and there's a lot of job satisfaction.
Absolutely, well answered. You really answered.
Thank you.
Very well.
Thank you.
Now I've asked you what you enjoy the most about being a doctor.
Correct.
But what do you find most challenging about being a doctor?
Okay, so if you see in India, the healthcare system is very crippling. You can say it's a crippling healthcare system. A doctor can be very good, he can be excellent, but working in this crippled healthcare system makes him, it becomes frustrating basically. Secondly, there are the time involved in working in medicine. It's extensive. There's no time limit as such. You have to put in a lot of hours to work in medicine. There is a lot of mortality and morbidity around you when you're working in a hospital. You see a lot of deaths, morbidities, which sometimes makes you frustrating. It becomes depressing also. The other thing is that this point I should say or not, I don't know, but that it's like wolves in sheep's clothes. Your own colleagues try to undermine or undercut your abilities, and sometimes they don't say proper things about you. So these are the little frustrating things working in medicine field.
Right. Yeah, I guess that industry politics is something.
Yeah, that is there everywhere. That is there everywhere. But in healthcare system, it becomes a very big problem. Yeah.
Okay. Doctor, how do you approach discussing unpleasant topics, especially with patients and their families?
Yeah. So this is one of the most important thing and most difficult thing for a doctor to do. My formal training, we never had these sessions of like teaching. They never taught us about how to counsel a patient, specifically when it comes to breaking a bad news. We were never told how to talk to a patient. Now I think so the latest courses are trying to inculcate that into their courses about counseling, teaching and all. That is good. But yes, we need to take it up seriously and do it. Now, how do we do it basically? So first thing what we do is to ask the patient, whenever we are talking to them about the patient, to ask to them, what have they understood till now and what has the doctor told them? So this gives about the perception they have, and this gives us a starting point for discussion with the patients. Now, for example, if I want to break a bad news, I will give them a warning sign, which prepares them for the bad news. So I can tell them that, look, your patient is bad. I have some news that your patient is bad. So this gives the message across the table. You have to give them in a very simple language. You cannot use medical jargons or euphemisms in using. It'll cause misunderstanding. So you use very simple words like, your patient is in terminal care, or he's got cancer, or he's in coma. This will go across to their mind, basically. So you have to tell them in very simple language. Secondly, you have to give time or space. You have to give some space when you're talking to them, so that if they have any queries, they can ask you. You can give pauses, so if they can have some queries, they can ask in between. Do not just keep on talking from one side. Just give them that time to understand as well as to ask questions. Then always give information in layers, like you peel an onion. So give them information in layers, they will understand. Take pauses, try to understand whether they are grasping things or not. If they are thinking too much, ask them what are they thinking. Never give them the rightful hope. Do not give them the false hopes. Always or never abandon a patient. If you have spoken to a patient, you have discussed something with the patient, I'm sure only 10% is grasped by them. They do not understand most of the terms or most of the things. So you give them that time to go back and discuss with their friends and colleagues and come back with the queries. So you give a time slot again for them to come back with the queries and solve those queries. Always encourage for a second opinion. Right. That will help them.
Answer that very strategically, I must say. Fantastic. And before we end this today, I would like to ask you one more question.
Yeah.
What would be your one piece of advice to give young medical students getting into this field today?
Okay, so I think so there's no one piece as such. There's a lot of pieces which should be told to the medical student, but I'll sum it up in a short way. So first and foremost, do not count the number of years you're going to put in for studies in medical field. Do not, because it's an ongoing process. You have to keep learning every day. You cannot compare with engineers or chartered accountants. You have to upbrace with the latest knowledge. So you have to keep on studying. Secondly, do not take shortcuts. Read standard books. A subject is never isolated in medicine. Like you finish the subject, you're done with it. It is interconnected with other branches. So you will be very amazed to learn about human body functions when you interconnect them, basically. So you should not take a subject as an isolated subject. Do not treat your teachers or do not make fun of them. Respect them, because these are the people who are going to groom you as a doctor. So please respect them. Do not compete with others. Compete with yourself to become better. A person who is intelligent in the class may not be the best doctor in practice, or he may not become the most successful doctor in practice. So you try to compete with yourself. Be very sincere, dedicated to your field. It automatically will make you a good doctor. There are many students who just opt for a PG seat because they've got that seat. Do not do that. If you like that seat, then take that seat. Otherwise, don't take those seats. Work as a team member. When you become a doctor, you should work with your colleagues, friends. It will be very helpful. Share your knowledge. Discuss things with them. It will make you more knowledgeable. And last and not the least is that do not run after money. Do good work. Do ethical work. Money is a byproduct which will come. That's it.
Fantastic advice, doctor. Excellent. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.